Okay folks, the cross of St. Kevin. The oldest in the graveyard, dates back to the 8th century. It's granite, that's what granite looks like in the mountains around us when the sun shines. You can see the little sparkly bits in it. It's 2.5 metres of a solid boulder, which is amazing for its time. Imagine carrying that, or no breaks, no cuts, no joins. It's just a basic Celtic cross. But it marks out the original graveyard. Now, as I was explaining to you, after monasteries destroyed and abbeys, that's when the Irish wanted to be buried in amongst them. But prior to that, it was only the monks and occasionally the odd king who was allowed into the monastery. So, standing where we are at the moment, this is the original graveyard and this marks it. Now, just beyond us are some of the churches. This little one behind us kind of had an interesting history. It's changed over the years. Initially, it was built as a reliquary. They laid out their books, their chalices, but then it became the mortuary for the monastery. And so the monks laid out for 3 days, people filed by. But after the monastery was destroyed, this is when this one gets interesting. Today it's known as Teach Sagart, which means priest's house, because we have 9 priests buried in the ground there. And people come to take the soil. And people of Wicklow will tell you that soil has healing properties and is, we associate with all sorts of cures. Beyond that, we have another little church, but that is outside. That was the end of the monastery, the wall there. That was for women, known as Shepale Naman, meaning Church of the Women, St. Mary's. We have a Mother of a High King of Ireland buried there as well. But the women could come in, but we had to leave very quickly, and this is where you went. So Shepale Naman, you can see the glacial valley right there. We came down in the first lake. Now St. Kevin is buried on this monastery, we know that. But at the time, they would tell lies. They would record his death, but they would say he was buried here. They'd change it and say buried somewhere else. The reason for that was that people loved to take a relic. They wanted a toenail, a finger, anything they could get. So holy people were always buried in secret. So nobody believes he's actually here. It's too obvious. But there is one special church, one of the 7, called Reeford Church, which is beside his cave, where he routinely went back to and spent time there. But there are 19 High Kings of Ireland buried there today, so they knew something we didn't know. So he's probably there. Now there's a long-standing tradition with this cross. You might have just been walking down and see the 2 people hugging it. Because it, I don't know, does anybody kiss the Blarney Stone? You don't have to pay to do this one, okay? This has been done for hundreds of years. Some people call it the cross of love. The idea behind it is you're supposed to try and link, I have long arms, but the idea is that you hug it. So you really mean it when you're hugging it. You're supposed to have a kind of clear conscience, a clear heart. If you're looking for love, this is the cross that brings a partner. If you need your partner to kind of move it on and marry you, this is your cross apparently. But if you just kind of want to make your life better, and you can't ask for money, that doesn't work, but you have to kind of really hug it and mean it. And sometimes when it's busy here, you see people, I promise you, lining up to come up and hug this cross. And we just came up to this couple hugging her, so. All sorts of proposals. Did anybody want to propose around the cross? We had one last year. Great. Anyway, if you're all too shy, you can do it when nobody's looking, okay?
You got the crosses, you got them all.